Hello, this is Adler. How can I help you?
Hi, this is Scarlett. I have Anthony on the line, ready to discuss selling their house at.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, is this Anthony?
Speaking.
Hey, what's going on, Anthony? It's Adler. I see that you're wanting to sell your house here in Gary.
Yes.
So you were reaching out a few months ago about selling your house here as well.
Yeah.
I guess I got it pulled up here.
Yes.
Okay. And how much were you asking for the place?
40.
Okay, 40,000. And I guess can you tell me a little bit about what's going on here?
Yeah, when it last appraised, it was at 85. I could send you that.
Okay. So you got it appraised recently?
Well, in December.
Okay, in December.
Yes.
Alrighty. So appraised for 85 in December, and then I guess you've been looking at selling this for a while. Then, if you've been talking to people for a few months
No,
now.
I jumped out. I jumped out of the market.
You jumped out of the market?
Yeah. You know, I wanted. Let it appreciate more because some of the offers I was hearing was just laughable.
Yeah. How low were the offers?
Low.
Okay. So just nowhere near the 40 that you're asking.
I was asking for more than that, considering that it appraised for 85. But I figure I'm gonna start looking in Hammond with all of this recent Bears talk.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been hearing about that as well. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm looking around here. And so are you living in this house, or I guess what's going on with like the
No, I'm not.
living situation? Okay. And did you buy this recently?
Last year.
Okay. So you bought it last year as an investment property then?
Yes.
Okay. What, to do like a fix and flip, or?
No, I just bought it for investment property.
Okay. Awesome. And then it looks like you bought it in 2025, so just last year for just a little under 40.
39, but when we at the closing table, everything came to about 41. So now, when it appraised at 85. So it more than doubled.
Okay. So when you bought it originally, what all have you done to it since then?
Some painting, a little drywall, just minor stuff like that. I lucked up and bought it from people who had started rehab and everything, and they pretty much did all the work for me.
Mm.
It was like an estate, something like that. It was going through some family issues or whatever, and I guess they just wanted to get rid of it. So I said, okay.
And then I guess right now, is there anyone like living in it? Is it a rental for you, or what's going on there?
Yeah, I have a tenant there.
How much are they paying you a month?
$1,000.
Okay. Are they on a month to month, or are you your lease right now?
Doing month to month. No,
Okay.
we're doing a lease. We're doing a
Okay.
lease.
When does that end?
I believe October.
Well, I mean, if you bought the place for 30, didn't put much into it, and you're renting it for $1,000 a month, I mean, that's pretty.
I bought it for 39.
Okay. Bought it for 39, and then how much do you think you put into it?
About 10,200, something like that.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're all into it for around 50, and you're getting $1,000 a month for rent, I mean, that's pretty killer. I mean, a lot of investors, would kill for a return like that. What has you wanting to sell? Is the tenant bad, or you just want to free up some capital, or what?
I just want to sell it. It's mine.
Okay. Well, let's see here. I said I was assuming when you were getting offers previously, they were ankle deep, around $10,000 or so.
No, they weren't that bad. They were pretty bad.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't even listen to a $10,000 phone conversation.
Yeah.
I make that. I'm in law enforcement. I can make that every month. I wouldn't listen to nothing like that. I'm not a drug addict. I don't need $10,000.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking around. It's just a little tough. We've done a lot of deals in Gary. It's just even when a place is fixed up, new, I mean, it's only selling for 70 to 80 around here. So it's one of those things where it's are you in a position where if you don't get the 30, you're just gonna keep it?
I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to take no huge loss or whatever. But what makes you say 30?
Or 40. My apologies. 40 is what you were asking.
Right. But I mean, I'm willing to work a deal if someone's serious about buying it. Like I said, it doesn't matter to me either way. I can hold on to it, but like I said, my eyes are set on Hammond, especially if this deal works out with the Bears and Hammond.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, I'm just looking around here, and I just want to, be transparent with you, 'cause if you're like, hey, I need the 40 or at least close to it as possible, but you're making $1,000 a month in rent. I mean, it might be one of those things where you want to keep it, 'cause all of the investor guys that run their numbers, pretty much the same, and with something like this and Gary, I just don't know how close to 40 they're going to be able to be. I mean, when you got those offers previously that were that low, because these investors are looking to buy to make money, right? They're investors.
Right, exactly. And I understand that. And that's, but the thing is, don't try to make so much money to where I don't even see a nickel return,
Yeah.
We both got to see something. 40 is very negotiable, but I won't take pennies.
Yeah.
It's very negotiable, but I won't be insulted with pennies,
Yeah, no, I hear you. Let me see here.
Yeah, it's not.
I was gonna say, how negotiable is it?
You tell me.
All right. Well, let's see here. I guess the big question mark is, if I were to buy this and I wanted to fix it up and make it look nice and new, what would all I need to do to it on the inside?
You probably wouldn't spend more than maybe $12,000. You wouldn't spend more than that. It's a 2-bedroom ranch style house, so it's not like it's no basement or anything in there. So it's not like you gotta do the basement. There's no basement at all. It's ranch style slab. You wouldn't have to dig in your pocket a whole lot for this. That's one of the main reasons why I bought it, because it's Gary, and Gary is not known for having a lot of money. So I'm like, let me stay within everyone's budget. So it works. It definitely works. So it's negotiable. It's just I'm not going to take pennies.
And is there anything else that I should know about the house here, or what's going on? Okay.
Not at all. Like I said, I want to look into Hammond, because if that move takes place, I don't want to be the last one trying to buy some property in Hammond, and now the property is going through the roof.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it really depends on how important it is it is to get sold for you. I mean, in all reality, with something like this, I'm thinking, if the place you're saying only needs like 12 grand or so into it, I'm thinking ideally most of the investor guys I know would want to be close, right around that like 25,000 mark. I mean, what would you say if one of those guys offered you that?
25 for something I paid 39 for, that's worth 85 now. Come on, man.
If it were brand new, like you went through and did like a full rehab to it and it was really nice and new, then I think the 85 is reasonable. But I mean, when I look in this area, I mean, all these houses, they're not selling for much at all. I mean, 85 is like best case scenario. I mean, most of these houses I'm seeing are I'm seeing some in the 30s, some in the 20s that are, you could put people in and rent it immediately.
And then you have to wait forever. Not forever, but you got to wait 30 days or whatever for them to, we would have to at least say mid-20s. I mean, I can't play myself like that. That's 20,000. We'd have to say mid-20s.
Mid-20s.
Yeah, we'd have to say that, and we'd have to, do the deal to where it's not like just so prolonged and I'm waiting 30 days or whatever just to get a portion of what I've spent.
Yeah. And I will say this, the better, obviously, I mean, it's just like with anything, but the better the price, the faster it'll move, you know. But I mean, with something like this, I mean, we got a lot of, you know, like I said, we've done a lot of business in the area, so I mean, I'm confident that we could, you know, get this thing gone for you. And then the tenant situation, I guess they're in there. You said they're out October of 26, right? But
Yeah.
they're they're paying $1,000 a month. Is that with or without utilities? Okay, so they pay everything and then give you $1,000.
That's it. So you see, so that's why I'm like, I gotta, I gotta see something. I can't just, have it to where it's like, okay, I give them enough to, okay, they can go put some money down for another apartment or whatever, another house rental, and then now I'm really left with nothing.
Hmm.
So that's why I'm like, I can't take pennies.
Yeah, yeah. So you're saying that at a minimum you got to be in the 20s.
I mean, I need to walk away with that. Yeah,
You own it free and clear, correct?
yeah, I bought it cash.
Okay. And
That,
and these other like investments you're looking at, like have you already found another house you want to put some cash down on?
I'm looking around in Hammond, taking my time, but I'm looking around.
Okay. And where are you at with all of this? Are you like in a position where if you got an offer that you liked in like the 20s or whatever, it's something that you'd be wanting to move forward on today, or do you still got some things you're trying to get sorted out, or what's going on?
Depending on if the numbers are fair and they're trying to get this done, yeah, we could move. It's not a problem.
Okay.
Not a problem. I told you I'm in the process of looking at something in Hammond anyway, so we could make a move, as soon as possible. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely interested. I think we could get something sorted out here for you. Um, I guess my big question mark is kind of like the condition, you know, because like how much drywall do I need to put up? Like what's the inside looking like to kind of determine where I can be at? Because obviously I want to be as reasonable as possible with you and give you as much as I can here, but also I can't, you know, underestimate a rehab and take a loss on this.
People are buying property up in Gary. It's a win-win. That's why I'm like, I don't want to take too much of a loss, but I can show you the appraisal stuff back in December.
Well, yeah, with those pictures that you have, how recent are those?
Could be a week. Yeah, about a week.
Oh, a week ago?
Not even. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, hey, what's going on, sir?
Yeah, nothing much.
Awesome. Well, yeah, is now a good time to talk about the property and everything?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I was able to kind of run through the pictures and everything, the drywall situation. So the tenants are living in there now, with those current pictures.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, everything is fine. I'm just replacing the drywall.
And were you wanting to just sell it as is like it is now, or were you planning to finish the drywall and like the flooring and then sell?
I don't know. You tell me. I mean, because I know if I put some more money into it, then the number's going to have to go up.
And so other than the flooring and then like the bottom half of the drywall, everything else is pretty good to go, doesn't need any sort of work done to it or anything?
Oh, that's good.
And your timeline you were saying was as soon as possible if the numbers make sense.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, I mean, something like this, I mean, I definitely wouldn't mind working with you on. But you know, if it still needs the flooring and it still needs the bottom half of the drywall, um, then I mean, it's obviously like, you know, we're gonna need to be little bit lower. Yeah, and I don't want you to feel like, you know, you're walking away and getting nothing here. I mean, you know, my goal is to create a win-win. But obviously I got to make sure, yeah, that if we are taking this on, we are making money on it.
Yeah.
With that being said, I know that you were wanting to be like in the 20s. I mean, you know, how close
Oh,
to that?
that's very low. I
Yeah.
mean, it should be little to no discussion after that. I mean, and I took it that low because I'm like, okay, if you guys want it and you want to throw money into it, you still break even. You still make making out. I mean, if I throw the money into it, it goes up, and then I know how these companies are. Then it's pretty much going to be a no deal. But you know, that's my sticking point there. I mean, I can't go less than the 20s. I can't.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I hear you on that. You know, and if it were finished out, then I could definitely, you know, pay a higher dollar amount. Um,
What are we talking
but
about?
with
Because we circles. What are we talking about? If you have a
yeah, I
number,
mean,
and you tell me so I can say yes or no. What are we talking
yeah,
about?
I mean at this point, just like I would want to be as close to that 20 mark as possible.
So what are we talking about? Tell me something.
Yeah, I mean, how close to the 20 could you get for it to make sense for you?
I said mid 20s,
And I just didn't know like how close to 20 could you get to where you're like, hey, yeah, this would make sense for me versus I would prefer not to.
mid 20s.
Okay. So I mean, could you do 20?
That's not really working. I mean, you guys are gonna make. I mean, this is gonna be a windfall for you guys. I mean, come on, a few more thousand is not breaking your bank. It's not hurting you. It's not anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't, think we're
See,
really
I mean, come on, come on. You could do better than 20.
yeah, and I don't think we're too far off here at all. I mean, how close
No,
to that number could you get for it to be make sense for you?
we're not. I mean, I said mid 20s, which is like 25,000. Let's play around there, because like I said, if in the event the tenant doesn't have a first month and down payment, first month and security to go get another place, okay, I have no problem with digging in my pocket and saying, okay, well, since I sold this place during our lease agreement, here's 2,000, here's 2,500. Help you get yourself situated. I have no problem with that. So I don't want to be so far off my mark, you know.
I get that.
Sometimes, so that's why I'm like, I'm taking on responsibility as well. Like I said, you guys put about 10,000 into that place, and it's already going to be doubled. It's going to be 2.5 times of what you paid for it with the work. I mean, you could check the appraisal. I'm not making these numbers up.
And
So
if the tenants do have an agreement put together with you for a lease that expires in October, then we're going to honor that absolutely. So you don't necessarily need to worry about bailing them out or taking on that responsibility, especially if you have something in writing with them.
exactly right. I just want to be fair and honest and be a decent person. That's all I want to do. I don't want to leave anyone high and dry, because if you guys decide to purchase it, then I can't tell you what to do in regards to my tenant.
Hmm.
It's what you decide. So, but I just wanted to make sure they're fair.
So you were like hoping like worst case scenario just to have a few $1,000 to give to the tenants just in case,
If
they
right, right. If the shit hit the fan, then I can at least say, well, here, let me help you get a place. Here go, 1,500 or 2,000. I can do something like that if the shit hits the fan, you know. And if I do that, then 20,000. I done sold a place only for 18.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. And I can respect, you wanting to handle things, the right way like that. So I mean, how about if we did it at the 22 mark? That way you're for sure walking away with the 20, and then you got the 2 just in case if things do get bad with the tenant.
So 25 is out of the question.
Yeah, I mean, I would want to be like I said earlier, as close to that 20 mark as possible on this.
Let's do 23.
I was asking if I were able to come up to that 23 mark. Are you saying that that's something that you would want to move forward on today?
Depending on how long it would take to get the deal done.
Okay. Yeah, so with us, it really depends on how fast we can clear title. It looks like under the records, it's just under your name, so I don't think it should be a problem. So it
Yeah.
could take, anywhere from, a few weeks to, within the next 30 days, absolutely.
Okay. And it couldn't be any sooner than that. And I'm only asking that because the drywall issue. I don't want, if I'm going to sell it and you're gonna buy it as is, I don't want my tenant to be there like that for another 30 days. So that's the only reason why I'm asking that, you know. Like I said, I'm flat out the owner. It's in my name. It's paid for. I owe nothing. If I spend money and get those little pieces done, then okay, now we got to sit back at the table.
Yeah, and I don't think that is something you need to do, right? Like obviously at that 23 mark, the as is sale is very fair. So you wouldn't need to mess with the drywall. Let's say, if we were to get moving on this today, today's Monday. I mean, by the end of the week, we could potentially start getting our, guys out there and start getting this thing really knocked out. So it could be very much sooner, but I just don't like to make guarantees that I can't control because there's things with the title company and things of that nature that could push this process back. So I like to be very, up forward and honest about things. But if we were to
Hmm.
come to an agreement today, put this in our system today, we could really get our guys out there at the end of this week and, start making a lot of progress on this in the next, week, 2 weeks tops.
Yeah, let's see.
Awesome. So what are you thinking like our next steps are here then?
I'm waiting on to see what type of process it is with you guys because I already know what I want to do.
Okay. So you just want to know like what our process looks like then?
Right. If we get the ball rolling, and um, again, like I said, I have a lease which puts me in under contract with my tenant, and I feel like I'm not. If I stretch this out 30 days, I'm not living up to the obligation that I signed with my tenant. So that's why I'm like, how are we going to push this along?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And what was the obligation with the tenants, your current tenants that you're talking about?
To live in a place as they came and rented it, how they seen it when it was rented, to let that those walls be cut out like that for another 30 days, then I don't feel like I'm fulfilling the obligation. So I just want to make sure everything is understood with the tenant because I don't want to leave a bad taste in anyone's mouth.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, and I respect that because and I'd want to do the same in your shoes here. So with what our process would look like, like let's say, we came to an agreement today. From there, obviously you sent me a few pictures, but if you had some more pictures of the house or even some of the outside, from there, I would send you to my transaction coordinator and he would be your point of contact moving forward, kind of what the drywall would look like. But since you've got renters in there, obviously, this isn't something we would flip right away. We would simply, fix the repairs that you needed done to the place, keep the tenants in there, and if all goes well, we would keep them in there for the foreseeable future, especially if they're paying $1,000 a month, right?
Right.
So from there, once we get the numbers figured out and we're like, hey, this makes sense, we start moving on it, we would have everything closed with the title company done with you in the next few weeks to the 30 days at the absolute max. And that's what I would put on the agreement as a 30-day time period.
Okay. I mean, if that's what it's going to be, okay. I just want to make sure none of that's coming out of my end.
No, absolutely not. And once I get the agreement put together and sent your way, I can kind of run you through it, but I can show you. I mean, we have a very specific section that says as is sale, meaning once we come to the agreement, it's as is.
Okay. Well, let's get the ball rolling.
Alrighty, awesome. Well, yeah, are you able to access your email right now?
Yes.
Alrighty, awesome. Well, if you could just give me a few seconds, I'll put together this agreement for you. Yeah, so from here, all we need is your initials on this, and then we'll put it in our system. That's how we officially get moving on this for you. Yeah, if you can just, pictures and access, work with us on those, we'll make sure that we get this done, extremely fast for you.
Okay. Well, I'll be waiting for Hunter to call me.
Awesome, sir. Well, hey, it was a pleasure speaking with you, and I'll reach out to Hunter right now.
All right. Thank you.
All right, awesome. You have a good one.